What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the... well, I guess it's new, but I think it came out while I was in California. It's the Pink Skull collection by Etude House. Yay! I'm really happy that they came out with something like this because I feel like the Korean makeup game needed like a kick in the ass and like a pack of punch. Kool-Aid. They really packed a punch with this collection because they're coming. These are very like fall colors, very fall colors. But I still feel like these things are very wearable. I didn't get every single thing in the collection, but I did get one of the palettes, both of the twin shot lip tints, both mascara formulations, and both blushes. But I know there's like a perfume that came out and like nail polishes, but I did not get those because I did not find them interesting, so I got this stuff. But let's just get into them one by one. Then at the end, I'm going to show you like this sort of fall look that you can create with these things, or you know, similar colors that you have in your colors that you have in your collection. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with like the eyeshadow palette because I think this is the most exciting part of the collection. There's two that came out, but this one it called out to me more. I felt like the other one is like this, but like more muted. Colors I feel like you could wear all year round. I mean, you can wear this all year round if you wanted, but this one was just more interesting to me. This one is in number 2, Punky Skull. And this is kind of, you can imagine like the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, but like more like deeper in color. You've got kind of like your transition shades here, your crease colors. Then you've got like a bunch of like really pretty glitters, shimmers, and you've got, it's mostly just mid-tones and like deep colors. So you're gonna get a lot of like really smoky, deep colors out of this palette. I've always liked the formula of Etude House eyeshadows. One thing that I enjoy is that there's not, even with the glitters, you don't get much like fallout, even if you use like a brush. I'm kind of like in there, but it's, you know, not really any fallout, except for maybe like the much deeper shades, but even then it's not that much fallout. Now the thing is with these ones, because the formula is more of like in the pan, the actual eyeshadow is a little bit more hard, but not like the bad kind of hard where you like feel like you're constantly having to put on more and more to try and build up the color. But this is like a good medium where you can take this from like a very like light wash of color on the lid to like really strong because you can layer it very well. So it's that kind of like hard formula. They're really smooth. The only thing that concerns me is when you're dipping you see how some of these hearts are more turned than others? They all started like this, but they're like, I don't know why, I don't know if they're like popped into the pan or if they're like glued down or anything, but you see how they're like, they can turn, I don't know if you can even see that, but like, look, they turn. So hopefully they don't like fall out at some point. So far they haven't for me. But yeah, I can see this going anywhere from like a very everyday sort of look, maybe these in the crease, then maybe one of these in the lash line, and something like this to pop on the inner corner in the aiguisire. But I can also see this very much going to like, you know, night looks or very smoky, deep looks. But it's interesting because they all have like reddish, pinkish tones to them, and I don't know, I just really like this palette. So I'm just gonna say it now, if I had to get one thing to the collection, it would probably be this eyeshadow palette. And also, I don't usually use eyeshadow primer. I usually have like powder on my lids already, and I find that just having that and with these shadows, I don't get creasing, they last really well. So overall, even though the price point of these is really good, the quality is fantastic. So really like Etude House eyeshadows. Next are the blushers. These are the Pink Skull cream blushers. Now they are cream. They say they're cream, but they're really just powder, I feel like. The packaging is kind of cheap on these. They're like really thin plastic and they just feel like they're gonna break easily. But you do get like a puff in there. It's covered by this plastic protector and you get your product right there. Now it says it's a cream blusher, but honestly, it really just feels like a powder. Like, this is just a powder. PK001 is kind of like a mauvey, dusty rose kind of shade. It doesn't really register well on camera, but it's very similar to like this color. And then number PK002 is, oh, they have names. This is Punky Pink, and this one is Punky Rose. Well, what do you know, Rose. Punky Pink is definitely more of like a muted hot pink, if that makes sense. So they look very similar, like next to each other on camera, but hopefully it'll show up in the swatch. But although you would think that these cream blushers would be super pigmented, but like most other, you know, Korean blushes, they're very like not that pigmented, which can be a good or a bad thing. If you like to put on a lot of blush, you're gonna have to really build up the color. Honestly, they come with these little puff things, but they don't really apply much color if you're just patting them. When I think of these applicators, I think of patting motions. I don't swipe because that's going to take off the foundation. But in order to, you know, get color on with this, you have to swipe. So I don't really do that. I just use a brush. But even then, let me see. Let me try the rose color on right now. Yeah, this goes on so much better with a brush. It's just a really like soft flush of color on the cheeks. Like it's not gonna come off like, you know, blush. It's just a really light flush on the cheeks. What else can I say? My friend Joan really loves her blushes, and this is basically, you know, their classic formula of blush. I just don't know why they call it a cream blush when it's clearly more like a powder. It feels like a powder, but it doesn't like accentuate dry patches like a powder can. Obviously, you want to make sure that your skin is like well exfoliated if you have like dried skin, or in general. Do I think you need to have these? Not really, but they're really cute blushes, I guess, and they're very natural looking. But nothing too crazy. They're good for every day, and for fall or whatever. There's the blushes. Next up, I'm going to talk about the mascara. Now, I think it was this one, the Curl Fix, that comes in 3 colors. And then I've got the long lash, which this one just comes in black. Now between the two mascaras, I definitely like the long lash more. For me, when I put mascara, I'm only trying to accentuate like the shape of my eye. So I'm really just trying to tint my lashes and get them like, you know, I only really put them on the outside. So I get more of like that elongated shape. So I'm not really looking for like length and curl or whatever. But the long lash really reminds me of the Heroin mascara that I really like. The brush is definitely different though. This one is more of like a cone shape. It comes to a blunt end. And I think this is like a rubber... Yeah, I think it's like a rubber bristle. And the thing is, the difference between this one and the Heroin one is that this one doesn't have as much product loaded on the brush. So I can definitely get more of like a natural look to the lashes. For me, that's what I like. I like natural looking lashes on myself. This one is definitely lengthening because it also has like fibers in it, and I really do feel like they make a difference. But they're not. It doesn't really do well, or doesn't really do anything in terms of like volume. So your lashes are probably gonna look the same, but they'll just look longer and just have like a tint of black on them, which I like. And in comparison, the Curl Fix mascara, the brush is definitely more like interesting. It's much bigger. One side is like this curved, short and bristled. It's also rubber, I think. This side definitely feels more plastic though. This side, the longer bristles, feel more like rubber, but I don't really know if that makes a difference. I don't remember exactly what each side is supposed to do, to be honest with you, but honestly, I don't really like this one as much because the bristles are so big. I feel like I poked my eye so many times with this. And the thing is, it loads on quite a bit of product onto the eyelashes. So if you like the loaded look on your lashes, this would make a really good one. However, it kind of clumps my lashes together. Like I look like I have less lashes, but it's not like a really ugly looking clump. It's definitely more of a wet formula. This one's more of like, they're both very long wearing formulas, I have to say. But this one is definitely more of a wet formula. And it does take a little bit longer to dry down. But yeah, I don't know, the Curl Fix just seems to make my lashes look, although thicker and slightly longer, they do clump them together so I look like I have less lashes. So if you have a lot of lashes like I do, then that shouldn't matter. But if you don't have much to work with, then I'll probably go with this one. It's give and take. This one gives you longer looking lashes, but they're not very voluminous. This one gives you really thick looking lashes because of like the sheer amount of product going onto your lashes, but they clump together so you look like you have less lashes. So, you know, if I had to choose one, I would definitely choose this one. I've been using this every day for a while and like I love it. This one's easy to take off as long as I'm using a cleansing balm or cleansing oil. This one takes quite a bit of work to remove. So I don't know, overall I like this one. Did you get a haircut?
No, I changed my hairstyle.
Oh shit, oh no.
Are you filming?
Yeah, I'm filming. Say, Woojung just came in. Hi, Woojung.
Hello!
Oh my god.
Is it live or what?
Oh, that really girl? Yes, it's live. I believe these are both permanent collections in Etude House's makeup lineup. However, with the collection, they just have like the cute little packaging with polka dots and the skull. messier review, but definitely I will go with the long lash. And last but not least, within the products that I have are the Twin Shot lip tints. These ones I'm also very excited for. They're both double-sided lip tints. One side is like a matte sort of lip tint, and then the other side is like a gloss with like a bit of shimmer and glitter. This one is in number RD304, Funky Skull Shot, I think that's what the name is. And then this one is in PK003, Pink and Pumpkin Shot. Now, I really enjoy these tints because they remind me a lot of this lip tint. I don't know if they still have it. I don't think they have it anymore. It's a lip tint that came out a long time ago. It was like their rose tints. And they're like this really matte formula. The formula is very similar. It's like a really thin, moussey lip tint. Super, super, super pigmented. In fact, it's like almost too pale for me, at least in the way that I wear them. But you know, if you like to wear full-on lip color, these are really fantastic. This one right here is my favorite only because I feel like it's more versatile, and the gloss is different from the actual lip tint. It's more like a pinkened red, and the gloss, when you put the gloss on top, it becomes more of like a berry sort of color. Pink and Pumpkin Shot is more of like a, I don't know, this one is definitely more, starts out as already as like a very berry type of shade. And then Pumpkin, I mean, in the tube it looks like it would be like a kind of orangey pumpkin shade, but honestly when it comes up on the lips it's more of just like pink, but just as a gloss and glitter in it. So that's why I prefer this one, only because you can get more of a versatile look with it. The actual lip tint formula itself is very lightweight. Like I said, it's very moussey, super, super pigmented. They're not transfer proof, so like if you kiss someone or if you get it on, like if you rub it off on something, then it's gonna come off. But it actually does leave a very, very, very strong stain on the lips. So throughout the day, while it's fading off, it does leave, it like fades off with dignity, so you're not left with like a really gross, patchy looking stain on your lips. I like to wear these as a gradient, but because of the shape of the applicator, this kind of teardrop shape, it's really easy to get like the shape of, you know, your lips if you want that full on color. So yeah, these ones along with the eyeshadow I really recommend because it's perfect for this like season, you know, it being fall, it's still really fucking hot here in Korea. So that was kind of my review of all the products. Now I'm going to show you like a quick like look that you can create with some of these products, and yeah. Alright, so that was my review on the new Pink Skull collection with Etude House. I hope you find it useful. Make sure you follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, both of which I always link down below. And catch me on Africa TV live Wednesdays and Saturdays 11 a.m. And also make sure you follow me on Beauty Beasts, because that shit is out now, okay? And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Oh shit.
In our heads pretend keep running and keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running.